not gonna front with you. It's getting real hard to start these episodes. Dylan can attest.
It is extremely difficult.
We put so much effort into everything else here on the fucking channel.
Not the opening.
Yeah, I was literally trying to think of something funny, and then I was like, it'd be cool if we could hire like the Price is Right guy. I forgot his name, but the guy.
Can we get like Bruce Buffer maybe?
Just like an announcer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just somebody who can hire that can sit in the corner of this basement every Friday, Saturday, whenever.
Get him his own mic
exactly
in the corner.
We'll even get you a camera angle.
Ooh,
cuts you for those 5 seconds at the beginning where you could look at it in your nice little Lytton corner of Lytton. Yeah, welcome to the Joystick Show. I don't know where the fuck we're going off on that one. Episode 104.
Oh, damn, that's the number we're at.
You'd figured we'd get good at these openings at 104. But nope.
That's like some 2 years of not opening it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, our openings used to be a lot worse, believe it or not.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because I get fucking stuck doing them all the time. I think if the other 3 people on this podcast put a little more effort into starting the podcast, and I'm not gonna lie, you put in some effort. If one of these 2 fucks that just so happen to not be here today could start a podcast once in a while.
And then they don't watch this episode. So
welcome to Bobby Rants About Joey and Jerry.
Well, weirdly enough, Jerry does watch it because then we know that because he got the fucking he won the segment on episode 100.
Yeah.
We know that Jerry watches
for sure.
We know that,
or at the very least,
he gets
us. He gets us at a very understanding. At a good level of understanding.
He big brained it. Yeah.
Before we get any further with dumb fucking topics,
welcome
to the Joystick Show. It'd be really cool of you guys if you could subscribe to Team Joystick. You would officially be a friendo. That's what we call you, friendos.
And it's one button.
It is. It's really just one click. And
it's one button if you haven't done it yet.
And another button, if you'd like to click it, is the like button.
Don't accidentally click the dislike though. That would be
that'd be really sad.
That'd be
if you like the video, that'd be really dope. And I was gonna say one last thing, but I was just gonna say, get ready for like 40-ish minutes of conversation.
Yeah, and get ready for we'll tell you to comment something too.
Exactly.
That's usually how that works.
So I mean, I could just jump right into something.
Okay, because I had something I wanted to discuss right off the bat. Because it is important because we are on a platform called YouTube. That's the main thing we upload this podcast for.
Yes.
And YouTube's been going through some shit lately.
Yeah.
Going through some controversy. So first off, I believe it was like a last week or a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to talk about the whole like Andrew Tate situation, but it just got talked into oblivion. And at this point, I feel like everyone knows what happened and what's up with that.
That was part of the reason it just felt like you were jumping on the bandwagon at that point, even though I know, I do have very strong opinions.
You have strong opinions on that. I would say almost everyone in our group chat, minus Joey and Jerenson, were following it gone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really, I would say one of the main things I watch with political content on YouTube. Like, that's one of the main things I do watch. Whether it's like an infographic type thing or like actually like just someone being a commentary channel or a debate. However, I can't do it when I'm sober, really. Like, I have to be high, kind of, at least a little bit. Because it's like, if I'm sober, I'm like, damn, that actually gets me a little heated, But if I'm high, I'm like, cool. Yeah. So if I watch like Hassan or like Jordan Klepper or something, I'm just like, hee, they funny, It's not really like, Klepp is good. Apparently, every month he does like a panel comedy show.
Oh shit!
At I think the Bell House, which is like a pretty big venue in Brooklyn.
We're out.
And Dimitri Martin's doing it too, but the resale tickets are like $100.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I make money, bro.
Not from this.
Not from this. Not yet. We'll get into that though.
Yeah. No, but I would also say that just with the political content going on is just like, I don't know. It makes sense that what happened with Tate, he got what he deserves. He's on TV now. You saw that?
Is he?
Yeah, so he got on Fox News, and apparently he's trying to get on CNN. And he intends on either doing like a public access show or some form of like broadcast in another way.
But at that point,
he got on Fox. He got on Fox News, and it was like a whole. Not only was it about like cancel culture, but then they just asked him like his opinions on it. I'm like, Tucker Carlson, give him like 20 minutes. I was like,
dude, if he goes in the public access route, that's just like art at that point. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's just fucking.
I just imagine it being like horrible, like come town, like it's just like a studio, and he's just like running around, just doing shit.
Jazz.
It's like a gym, right? I feel like that's what he would do. He would stream from a fucking
church basement.
He would stream from a gym and just be like, and that's what he would do. But YouTube now has another thing. Have you heard about the latest thing that happened on YouTube?
Is it with the minority creators?
Yes.
I saw the video.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what is your opinion on the whole situation?
Real quick, the whole argument was the fact that the algorithm doesn't. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was that. First of all, the whole argument was that I think it was minority, specifically black content creators, were getting stricter rules enforced on their videos as opposed to straight up white content creators. Yes. And like he used, who was his name again?
Corey Kenshin, yes.
He used specifically people like Markiplier to use his case, and it's very true. Like they played the exact same games or like whatever, but his videos would get strikes on them and violations for whatever reasons, whereas Markiplier's would go seemingly fine for the exact same reasons. Yeah. So I have been following it, and I find it very interesting.
Yeah, and it's like, because even if it's not straight up racism, it's at least extreme favoritism at the slightest. Because it's the one thing to be like, oh, the algorithm is screwing over these black content creators. But a lot of the time, especially in Corey's case, he brings this up that it is a manual strike. Yeah. It's somebody at YouTube looked at it and said, no, this isn't allowed. Yep. What happened with his specific video is that it got age restricted, de-age restricted, and then got age restricted again a week later when they age restricted all of that video. Mm-hmm. So that's just proof that
somebody
is manually doing it, and it's not even their fault because they're just getting orders, right? And they're like, do it, don't do it, age restricted. But who's giving that order? Yep. Who's running the show?
Who's behind the fucking computer?
Not only that, who put that incentive forward?
Oh yeah, true.
And also, I really love the video that Corey did because not only is number one, he's one of the most clean content creators out there. Definitely. I feel like a lot of people of color on YouTube get like a bad rap that they're always like, oh, they're loud or like they're
very like
they're not X-rated, but like PG-13 or above. And Corey will censor everything. He won't swear or anything. So even if he gets like loud and expressive, it's all pretty family friendly. Mm-hmm. Like I even remember I was on a stream and people were saying like, oh, I let my kids watch him because he's so, or they watch like, oh, my son's 13, and it's like I'm comfortable with that. Yeah. But he brought up a really good point that a lot of the stuff that YouTube and other internet websites do is just patronizing. Yeah. Because if you already wronged somebody, giving them a spotlight when your algorithm or people are like, you're already suppressing the view counts, it's like that. It seems very patronizing.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's fucked up.
It's like, oh, now we're going to focus.
Now we're going to get a spotlight.
Now we're going to focus on
why do you think we fucking invited you and Joystick, man? We need them views, straight up. We're about to start making Dylan's face all of the thumbnails.
Yeah. All the thumbnails are just like...
It's like my face in the corner, Jerry's face deeper in the corner, and then Joey and Dylan just...
You just turn up just to turn down the contrast or whatever, so it get brighter. It's like, damn, this is a really old photo looking on the thumbnail.
Oh, man.
This is where all the light with fucking whitewashing Joystick.
Oh, shit. No, I did follow that, and I found it very interesting.
And I want to see other creators come out and
I do.
I want to hear.
Cause that was my thing too. It's like I never wanted to make it seem like his opinion and his argument wasn't heard, but I do want to hear this from more people just to see if this is a bigger problem.
Yeah. And at least I'm very happy that Markiplier goes to bat to people. There's been many times where like people have gotten copyright striked and he hasn't, and then he's fought on their behalf.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, it's cool to see like
those two creators in specific, like Markiplier and Corey Kenshin, two people whose content I don't really watch despite the magnitude of who they pull in. And
I've never actually seen like Corey's video. I've only seen him do like this kind of content.
Yeah,
I've never actually watched his
content. But I have
content.
tremendous amount of respect for them, not only for the amount of effort they put into the content, but because of who they are as people. Because, I always find it very respectable when you can have a guy like Markiplier who on camera is very like zany and the fuck and da, but then at the same time can talk very maturely on subjects this.
Yeah, for sure.
Who stands up for the little guy, who even collaborates with smaller YouTube channels to bring them up.
Of course.
So I think that's really, really cool.
And I would just say, I know this is definitely going to result in YouTube like deleting our channel, but I feel like all of the big YouTubers are kind of like, in the past how there would be like machinima, right? Yeah. Or there'd be like a company that would run things behind, like they give you a salary or whatever, and then they run things. I feel like it's going to be that, but like with a union almost. You know what I mean?
Like because
we're already at the point where almost every single YouTuber has a rep or an agent.
Yeah.
All of them. So it's already kind of there. So it's like if it was all the same like one or two media companies that had the reps, they could they would have more strength over YouTube.
Like the Internet Media Guild. Or
exactly.
Like
well, yeah, exactly. It'd be something like that.
I think we need to get on this really quick, Dill.
IMG. Yeah, I'll be down.
I think you and I have to drop this joystick shit really fucking fast.
Sorry, YouTube.
Get onto the business.
Do not hit that subscribe button. You know how you're subscribed? Right? We're just contradicting. Don't share the video. Don't tell
anybody.
Don't tell anyone. Keep it a secret.
What was I gonna say? No, I mean I could honestly swing that perfectly into a bunch of shit that I wanted to talk about because weirdly enough, this is gonna be one of those odd episodes of the Joystick Show that isn't fueled too much on humor and is kind of fueled more so on like what we're up to
and like objectiveness, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? We're just kind of talking about shit
in a weird way. We're talking about things that are our strong suits in the form of content creation and things like that. Just talking about that, like we're trying to put a bigger effort here in a Joystick, like. I think the fact that we've shown up here every week for the past 2 years to do this is effort alone and kind of shows, but it's also about diversifying the content. So if you follow Joystick, you noticed last week we put out 2 Let's Plays. It's nothing crazy, but it's the start of like what I call, what did I call it before? Adding color to the channel. Yeah. Because, you go down, you look at all the previous videos and it's the same thumbnail. It's just our faces on the joystick. But then, you went last week and it was like, oh shit, what's this? It's different, right? And that's what I'm trying to really
I want to kind of do it like the Jackass route and call it Phase 2.5.
Phase 2.5, yeah.
Phase 2.5,
we fell off the rails too. But now we're really getting
2.5. This is where the good content is,
And and one of those things that I'm really, really trying to hammer home is like I'm trying to get my cinematography down like to a T. So I mean I don't know if you've noticed, but like the Joystick Show has looked pretty decent the past couple of days, or past couple of episodes rather, because of just the extra work I've put into the lighting and composition and stuff. Not only that, I'm still building this skirt for this, so this isn't even my final form.
This isn't new table maybe.
I found it. I found the new table. Yeah,
let's
it's beautiful.
Fucking go.
It's about 2 and change.
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, let's really, do it.
It's a little. So the idea is that unfortunately, once it's down here, you and I will be a bit farther apart. It's going from 30 inches to 47 inches. Okay. So I'll probably be like here,
Yeah, and I'll be a bit
I'll be chilling back here, Dill. Welcome to the Joystick Show.
Hello.
But the benefit of having a longer ovular table is that Joey and Jerry will no longer be directly to our side.
You can see everybody.
You can see everyone. And honestly speaking, we didn't do that for Joey and Jerry. We did that for guests. Because that is definitely what we want to focus on.
And also when you, I'm very happy you brought up the whole cinematography thing because of the idea that...
No, keep going.
Yeah, with the idea, you broke me. It's like because we want to make more content that's based around like actually like you, because you're very talented behind the camera and setting things up with the lighting and everything. So it'd be cool to make content that focuses on that. Yeah. But still also be funny or entertaining.
Exactly. Well, look, here's my 2 things. Number one, I like to tell people I'm using my film education for pure evil because I take everything that I've learned and I use it for dumbass shit. This, right?
Well, I like that a lot. Yeah. It's
but 2, I just like, and again, this is like one of those things that I'm saying now, and then we got to jump on it because I don't want somebody to hear this and steal my fucking idea. But like we have that show Fear, right? Yes. And we put out 2 episodes of it back, and we still have the intentions of doing it because that's something people like it.
Yeah, it's funny. I like it.
But like in watching the footage and seeing how I could improve it, I was like, why hasn't anybody done a horror Let's Play or like a series or even just one video where they do a horror Let's Play but in an actual horror setting? Like, you know what I mean? Like the lighting is fucking crazy and there's haze and shit like that. So we're putting a lot of work to making a show like that. Like, you're watching Joey and I play a VR horror game,
but there's this added element of you're in
like
the
we're
environment.
In a there's smoke in the room and there's fucking red lights flickering on in the background. So I'm trying to improve the overall tonality of the shows that we put on Joystick to fit that. You know what I mean?
And everything would be a different vibe too. So it's a good, like you said, good color to the channel because it's like everything will be
spooky,
everything
will
look
fun,
different.
I do want to return to the Chef's Son. I mean, Dylan could tell you straight up, at this point, it has nothing to do with me anymore. It's really just getting fucking Robert Sr.
It's getting Robert Sr. and then having there be no technical issues.
Yeah,
That's
right?
literally, it's one or the other. It's unavailability or just, oh, it fucked up. We got to do it again. Now we have to buy the ingredients to do the thing again. And it's a whole fucking process.
But for that specifically, like, and again, Dylan knows, we've prefaced before that we're working on kind of a bigger project, which isn't anything like mind-blowing per se, but it is a bigger video for us. It's definitely something that we haven't really done before, but I'm hopeful that it works out and that, you know, it'll give you a laugh. But it is a big project that, you know, it's taken like a week or two of conceptualizing, and now it's going to take another week and change the film and edit and all that. So it should be cool. But once that's done, that's when I want to focus on like some of the other stuff that we have in the back burn, like
get into
some Chef Sons,
the next gear,
some trivia based show that we have in the woodworks that I really fucking want to get.
Yeah, we got. I mean, we won't tease people with the trivia too long. Like, we'll definitely bring trivia back onto the podcast.
Well, again, without spoiling anything, that video that we're making, the big project, like, we have the hopes of doing similar ones in the future. Like, not necessarily making it a series, but kind of making it like a joke, like video that we make, and then if we want to revisit it again in the future, we can make a similar type of it.
Yes.
And we kind of already know what route we would go for the second one, and that kind of goes perfectly into everything trivia related here at Joystick. So we've got a really good plan is what I'm saying. It's just about execution. And then I have a good feeling that in like 3-4 weeks, we're going to get in the real fucking good swing of things where we're just like 2 days out of the week is just Joystick days.
And we'll be busy, bro. It'll be good. It'll be very good because I'm starting school again. I know you go back to work in a month. Like,
I'm going back to work. One thing I was like, at first I was kind of bummed about it because I thought I was getting 3 days as opposed to 2 days. But I'm back. They didn't give me the extra day. I'm just doing 2 days again.
Okay.
But at the same time, I was like, that's fine because we're finally at a point where it's like we're trying to make Joystick work. So it's like that might be a blessing in disguise kind of thing. Just use those extra days to fucking film shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, you know, a lot more of this. Alterations to the Joystick show to make it a bigger set, a more inclusive set. And by that, I mean bringing fucking different people onto this show that aren't part of Team Joystick to talk about what they want to talk about. Other shows that are going to be rebooted and are going to look fucking beautiful.
Yeah, don't go back and watch the whole one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And in the meantime, you can check out our Let's Play series in Quantum Conundrum, which is something I also wanted to diverge into, about how we're trying to bring a new face to the Let's Play game.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's like I forgot, like not doing it for a while. I was like, it was just cool to just kind of sit back, play a game, and talk about shit.
Dude, we're gamers again.
We're gamers again. The sign adds up to something we're talking about.
Yeah. So real quick, I felt like there was always this stigma. There's just like a general stigma I feel like in content creation, like to go into that, right? The term content creator didn't come out till like what 3 years ago, right? I feel like once social media and YouTube dropped, like a bunch of new terminology came out, and that is definitely one of them. That's a new one for sure. Yeah. But like before that, it was like, what did you do? I'm a YouTuber, and it was always weird to say that because like it doesn't feel validated in saying, oh, I'm a YouTuber unless you have big numbers to pull up with it, right? But in a weird reality, like yes, we are YouTubers. We fucking put a lot of work into making YouTube videos, and yes, we're podcasters because we put a lot of fucking work into.
It's not
this
a slur.
Podcast.
It's not.
It's not. That's what I'm trying. I'm telling myself that, Dylan. Right?
Right. You're just in the mirror.
Yeah. Right. And I'm trying to tell myself that it's okay to do Let's Plays. It's perfectly fine.
I talk. I'm allowed to speak into a microphone. I'm allowed.
I can like video games. Yeah. But you know, Let's Plays in specific was always something that I felt weird about doing on the channel because it was a conflicted feeling. Because on one side of it, like Dylan said, they're really fun to do. Like, we all love video games here at Joystick. It's kind of one of the central things that has brought us together. There's a reason we're called Team Joystick at the heart of it, right? Yeah. And then at the second thing, it's like it always felt weird to be a Let's Player because it felt like you couldn't be cool and be a Let's Player. Yeah. Especially now. Here's where I'm getting at. When we were younger, like in, you know, our teenage years, young adult years, and we watched channels like Achievement Hunter and Game Grumps and all those people, right? Mm-hmm. It was different because we were of that age where it felt cool to watch that or whatever. And then as we grew up, we kind of fell out of that phase. Yes. And those channels kind of still... they're still doing really great. I mean, you can make a different case for Achievement Hunter, but point is those channels are still racking up a lot of views and still have a dedicated fan base, but they kind of like stood in that mentality of making content for that age range.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would say that there's some channels that even pandered more.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some channels that even went further down that route, and they're like, oh, let's make it more family friendly.
Exactly.
Let's make it more.
Some of them even did like
silly.
kids divisions where they would have like family oriented. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So our whole thing is like, why hasn't anybody really fucking made content for us, the people who grew up and the people who kind of still want to watch those Let's Plays? But so, you know, and it was funny because like Jose and I were even talking about it recently because Jose had been watching the old Minecraft series, and it's like I went back and I started watching highlights, and I'm like, this shit is hilarious.
It's so funny.
And then you go back and you watch their content now, and it's just not the same because, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, as soon as they went that whole like PC route, like they got unfunny, but I would make the argument that they went way too clean with it. It
changes the content.
Exactly.
It changes not only who watches, but it's like it's not captivating, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just this is gonna be a fucking horrible comparable maybe.
Okay.
But I feel like it's kind of like do you know what like a concert that I've been to several times is Sad Summerfest?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the marketing route, you know what I mean? It's like we used to do this thing back in the day. We all still like that music, but this isn't a thing anymore.
Exactly. It's not Warped Tour.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Warped Tour. It's not a thing. I go to a different concert and now they're a pop group. What the fuck is this shit? Right? This isn't sad. I'm still sad, right? So it's like I would feel like it's the same type of thing where it's like you capture that feeling, but now we're adults.
Yeah.
You don't have to role play or pretend like, oh, I remember back in the day when we were like this, but no, like a new way, a new perspective.
So the new route we're going is essentially we want to be that Let's Play channel for us, the older crowd, a mature, if you will, Let's Play channel. That doesn't mean we're going to be talking about, you know, vagina all day, but
and it also doesn't mean that the entire channel is going to be Let's Plays either.
Yeah, exactly.
Like exactly.
It's just when we do Let's Plays, you know, the audience we're targeting.
Yeah, and you'll see on. Like you saw with the Quantum Conundrum that has 2 out already, that it'll be with especially when in the future when we have future shows, it'll look good on the channel.
Yeah, and I know
you know that
when you see more episodes of Fear drop and you see more episodes of what we're doing with Let's Play drop, you'll see exactly the direction we're going with that. Like, and we can be a video game channel. Well, not necessarily a video game channel, but we can have gameplay elements that aren't necessarily for families or for kids. So.
And you can also have just the pleasure. I know you could see this, but like when you click on the channel, you'll see, like you said before, all the thumbnails, and they'll all be a different show.
Exactly.
And that'll be cool to see.
Mm-hmm. And even then, like in the show route, it's not about scheduling anything or making shows. It's just about making sure that we're putting effort into all these different videos. Like, it's not about saying like, okay, listen. Well, I mean, the one thing that will be static is the Joystick show will come out on Wednesdays, but it's not going to be like, yo, Fear's going to come out on Friday and this. No, you're going to get 2 to 3 uploads a week, but you might get a podcast and a Fear. You might get a podcast, a Let's Play, and
something
a
else.
Let's Play. You might get a podcast and a Chef's Son.
Secret shows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So. Well, I mean, when Chef's Son comes into fruition, you'll see what we have planned with that. That's going to be like a season. That's going to be
that's going to be an actual watch all of them.
But yeah, I'm really hopeful because we finally have like a really good idea of like not only the videos we want to make, but also just like the tone we're setting at Joystick. And I'm like, I think one of the happiest things for me is like we talked a lot about it. But going into the Quantum Let's Play, and like we talked about the ideas and how we wanted it to be fast cut because like no Let's Play channels really do fast cuts like that. It's always like just 30 minutes of continuous gameplay. So then like once the videos were edited and we watched it back, I at the very least I really felt like we pulled it off. Like I was like we nailed every single beat that we wanted to hit.
I definitely think that the vibe overall is definitely what we were looking for.
And don't get me wrong, it doesn't have 1,000 views. Nothing on our fucking channel has 1,000 views, but I like to have that base content because we can edit stuff in it. Those are highlights.
It's essentially we talk only a bit about the game, so it's essentially like almost a mini podcast in a way that's edited to be funnier. Yeah, and I just really like that route for sure.
That's it, baby. I'm excited. I'm just nailing off. If I'm looking at my phone, it's because I have all these topics laid out, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going down.
You're fucking prepared, bro.
But I nailed that.
Yeah, we got
I
that
nailed
out of that way.
And I guess I could talk a little bit about how I'm turning into a fucking... I told Dylan before this podcast that with this new change in production and slight personality... that I want to start adopting like a new hotshot kind of persona.
Yeah,
you know?
character.
Yeah, you know, character,
or actual
multiple personality, like, you know.
I was like, or just change completely as a human being,
just a new person.
Just Patrick Bateman yourself, just fucking. No, I'm Chem right now. Just fucking different person.
Dylan, how like I'm gonna start wearing like fucking just blazers everywhere.
Sport jacket or blazer,
yeah, just like a perfect comb over, and not a comb over, a part, you know.
Yeah, I know exactly.
The Don Draper look, and be like, I'm a producer, you know. I work big. I do big time shit, you know.
You have to
you ever
talk.
You ever heard of the Joystick show?
You have to talk and
Pulls
point
in an
to
average
everyone you walk by.
25 views an episode. We're on episode 104. No big deal.
No, not that hard.
What do I do? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of everything. I host it too, you know.
I gotta do the intro every fucking week. I gotta start. No one.
What's the hardest part of it all? Probably just getting it started. You know?
I got
getting out of bed in the morning.
I got 3 bozos next to me that don't want to fucking do it.
Start referring to you guys as strictly bozos.
Yeah. Who's and gots, bozo. Like you got. There's a whole new lexicon. Thank you for my lighter, by the way.
These fucking bozos. Bro, can that be our band name? Bobby and the Bozos.
Bobby and the Bozos.
I think we found a new channel name.
Bobby and the Bees.
And welcome to Bobby and the Bozos.
Oh.
I was also talking about how I was also thinking about how I'm just gonna rename the show "Too Much Work" the podcast, because that's really what this shit is. It's too much work the fucking podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
I took that into consideration on my 15th hour of editing this past week when I was like, why do I do this?
Why is this a thing?
Why is this what I'd love to do?
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't I just be like a painter or something?
No, I mean that's not always that easier.
I don't know. It's chiller.
I mean, if it's not time constricted,
I could take it outside.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just take a fucking computer before anybody says you laptop. Okay, there's a big fucking computer that powers Joystick. Right, it's a big workhorse that sits on my desk. It's got all the bells and whistles in it. I don't have a laptop.
Painting's not like portrait painting, or did you mean like wall painting? Portrait
painting.
Oh, okay, that's still fucking difficult.
I never said it's not. I'm just saying that you can diversify it. You know, like you could take it out with you. You could fucking, you could change up the medium.
There's no wires involved.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just tired sometimes of sitting behind that computer and dragging.
Oh yeah, it's like repetitive too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But to be fair, that's why like having those Let's Plays really for me at least as an editor, it made me a lot happier to jump from literally doing maybe 60 plus episodes of the Joystick show in a row to actually have something different, being like, ooh,
spice it up. Yeah,
this is fun. This isn't as much work. It's different. So
for sure,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty dope.
I'm always a fan of. I can edit, but I feel like I should do it more, because like I just I have the software on my computer, so I went on it and I was like, I forgot how to do all this shit.
Yeah.
But
bro, if you ever need a teacher,
bro, give me a fucking.
I'll send you a YouTube link.
Oh, okay.
Because I ain't fucking doing that.
No, definitely not.
At the very least, if if we ever pull on an editor, I'll make them sit through like a Joystick editing workshop, which is really just gonna be like a training video.
Okay,
in black and white.
That training video would be fucking hysterical.
And it's just like,
can we all be in it
to do dumbass edits? Absolutely.
Can we all be in it? Can we hire? Can that be a sketch? Like we hire like a fake employee and we have to like train him to do the fucking. All right,
Why are we shouting so much gold in this fucking? This episode is literally just gonna be called "Don't Watch This Episode of the Podcast."
Yeah, do not.
It's filled with gold.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He's like, I don't think that's how that works. It's like, no, that's what we do. Jerry comes in, he's like, yeah, you got to show up like every 15 episodes, you know? Like he's just...
the most clickbait episode, the episode we don't want you to watch.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually good. I like that.
Right.
I actually really do like that.
Put that in the vault of possible episode titles. Do you have anything you want to diverge it into? Because I feel kind of bad about just fucking saying, oh, by the way.
No, I mean, I just like always, like I back to like the YouTube thing. I just really put into perspective how big of a fucking platform YouTube is.
Yeah.
It's fucking gigantic.
Feels like it just gets bigger too,
It
right?
literally just gets larger and larger. There's I want to say they added like 500 more movies too, because I have YouTube Premium.
It went really quickly from being like those joke movies to being like, oh, there's like actual.
Yeah. Literally, I was looking and I was like, literally, I'm gonna say like half of David Fincher's filmography is on YouTube Premium, and I was like, okay, like I was even gonna say, I'll watch The Social Network.
I feel like YouTube, in a weird way, grew a lot with how long we've been doing the podcast. I feel like what we talked a lot about YouTube 2 years ago has changed dramatically from what YouTube is now. Like pre-podcast, when did we ever talk about the shit we watched on YouTube? Like when did you ever talk about the video essays and stuff like that?
Never.
It feels like what, late 2018, early 2019 is like when you first mentioned like that poker video guy.
That is such a good fucking point. I didn't even think of that.
And then like
think of like before 2015, was there even video essays?
Yeah,
there weren't, and it was like just the
and at the very least they weren't as produced as that.
The amount in one genre which is absolutely taken off. Fucking true crime.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's not even that it's taken off. That's always been a
but
thing
it was on TV.
Love. Exactly.
And now
it's
brought
it to the internet.
Yeah. And every channel does their own fucking video. They do their own thing. Everyone has their own opinions on it. The amount of times I've gotten recommended the same fucking documentary or like the same murderer.
That's like, before the podcast blow up, like before the Rogan and shit like that. Remember what used to be like top 5 podcasts? It was Serial. That podcast where that woman just talked about true crime. I think even to this day it's still like a major podcast. But it's like as soon as you bring true crime into a different medium, it just turns into this fucking books, movies, TV. Yeah. It's crazy.
A lot of it is fucking people trying to solve the murder. It's like people like, and also I feel like you also brought up a good point that a lot of it also happened, I feel like, with COVID.
Yeah.
Like after COVID, people really were like, oh, I don't go to work. I'm gonna make some fucking
content.
That's
a really good point.
And a lot of people
were finally had that opportunity to be like, let me talk about that shit I've been wanting to talk about.
Or just like even people I know a lot of the video essayists I watch, they used to work for Vox or they used to work for ESPN or some type of other platform, and then they would leave and then make their own videos. So like I remember you mentioned John Boyce, who made the poker video. He has his own show now with another guy. They've done a 6-part series on the Seattle Mariners. They did an 8-part documentary about the Falcons. They did a 4-part documentary about the pitcher Dave Stieb. People had time on their hands and they made some shit. Yeah. I've seen some video essay content that's like, this is better than networks can make sometimes. It's like, definitely. Especially when it's like, I know you know this, but the way you're able to edit in B-roll and stock footage.
I mean, even seeing like, just to cut you off real quick, like that Defunct Land video that they made of like the Disney.
Yes.
Like that video might as well be a Netflix documentary.
And Defunct Land, that guy will literally... and other video essayists, they won't make videos for like a month because
it takes that fucking long to make a video.
Like there's a guy I know, his name is what's his name? Frederick Knudsen, and he is a YouTuber and he's a video essayist. And back in the day, a lot of his videos were like kind of shorter, but he won't upload for like 3 months. And then I remember one time he didn't upload for quite a bit, and it was like, what happened to this guy? And then all of a sudden he puts out a 3-hour video about the computer that did the chess thing, Deep Blue, I think it is. Yeah. He put out like a 3-hour video about that. I'm like, oh, that's what he's been fucking doing. And it's like, especially if it's like a topic you don't know about, you got to learn about that thing.
Definitely.
You got to research. It's like doing a research paper, which is lame.
I mean, I could make a video essay about a game I just fucking finished playing.
Yeah.
I just got done with Stray.
I played like 10% of it, and I only put it down because I was playing it on Thursday and I had to go to school.
Yeah. Joey put out a Instagram story when we put out the first Quantum episode to hype it up a bit, and then he asked people like what games they would want to see us play on the channel just to get like a feel for it and things like that. And one of the comments he got was Stray. And then that was what got me to be like, let me fucking play it. Because I've had it downloaded forever.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Actually, I saw that and I was like, let me play the game. And I was just hooked after that. I platinumed it in like 2 days. It's not that hard of a platinum in general, but really it's got to be like, I think it's my game of the year right now. I was even trying to think of like if anything tops it that I've played so far. And don't get me wrong, we've got heavy hitters coming up. We got Overwatch 2 early October, Gotham Knights late October. Fucking
everyone's saving it for like Christmas time, baby.
God of War Ragnarok is on my birthday. Even Modern Warfare 2 looks promising.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
The point is that game is just really fucking special. No spoilers, of course, since you're just starting it, but it had like, honestly speaking, I think one of the game's weaker points was like let me not say that. The story. And what I mean by the story, I mean by like, like the adventure you're going on specifically, right? And to call that a weak point is even ridiculous because I would call the story like a solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
And that's really, really good. What makes it even better is obviously like the art, right? Like the world that you're in. It has like this cyberpunk dystopian kind of element to it, which is fucking sick. But more so it's like, and then above that, it would be the concept, right? Because like not to spoil too much, but a big overarching theme of the game is kind of how like robots eventually learn from humans and like come to take on like humanistic just approaches to life. It's really, that's like robots that care for plants for no fucking reason because it's what humans would have done, like shit like that. It's a really cool idea stuff. Right? But where I think the game is at its best, 10 out of 10, 100%, it's got to be one of the most immersive games I have ever played.
I mean, you're a cat.
But I mean,
it's not a new concept either. That's why I from the little bit I've played, it's already amazing because it's like it's not a new idea. Like I've played games before. There's a couple of games on Steam where you play as a cat.
Yeah.
But it's never treated like this.
Yeah.
It's always usually jokey
or it's like jokey or cartoony
or very indie, like so indie that it's like one person made it and it's 2D and it's very limited.
But this is a game that takes itself very seriously, not only in, the writing and the art style and the music, but I mean like when I say you play as a cat, like you look at a ledge and you're like, I can make that. Like a cat can make that, and you can jump up to it, right? You look at a gap in a window like that, and you're like, I could fit through that. And sure enough, you can wiggle your way. It just really feels, and it's gonna make me sound like a crazy person. It just makes you feel like you're a fucking cat, and it's awesome.
Fucking Paula Abdul vibes, bro.
You feel
fucking. You're just like a cat. What do you mean, bro?
I got it. I just hear Peter Griffin saying it. Just like a cat. But no, fucking, like you really are a cat. It's just,
and you gotta like puzzle, you gotta platform, you gotta do all of that stuff to.
And don't get me wrong,
work your way through.
All of that stuff is fun too, like the platforming, the puzzle solving. But just being a cat is one of the coolest things ever. And I don't even fully understand it myself.
No, and it's like I got my fix in that all the way back in 2016 when I platinumed Cat Lap.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm about to go over there because I just finished doing the thing with Fitz.
Oh, okay. I'm with Dylan.
Oh, okay. Good.
Okay. You're on the podcast right now.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Just say one thing right now. Go.
Did you know that if you kill a wasp, it releases hormones that attracts more wasps?
Yeah, and then you gotta close your window.
All right. Thanks. It's coming.
Yeah. That I want to say that is like the funniest shit. Also, like that's like the best idea. Like weekly Jose fun fact.
Jose calls in.
But it's like, Jose, how do you feel about this? He's like, if your door, if you lock it too much, it starts getting rusted and then it won't lock as well, and then you can break into people's houses. You'll have like some crazy. You're like, what?
You're
like, that wasn't what we were talking about, bro.
If you kill a wasp, it releases hormones that attracts other wasps, and then you'll have an army of about 1,000 wasps that come to overtake your home.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Look up Acapulco, Mexico, bro. Wasps take over. You'll just go on some crazy tangent.
No, fuck it. Stray was great. That's really all I have to say to wrap it up. Like the whole idea, like the immersiveness was what I wanted to focus on. Like I've never played a game where you play as something, whether it be a vehicle, an animal, a person, and you just really fully embodies that. Like honestly, I would say the last time I played a game with that level of immersion might have been Batman Arkham City. Like when you really feel like you're fucking Batman.
Yeah,
like
you're
him.
Vibe. And it's all one night. You're like, I'm fucking Batman.
That's exactly what it feels like. Yeah, so real big props. I would give it I think IGN gave it a solid 8 out of 10. I think I'd give it around the same thing. Maybe a 9 out of 10. Beautiful game.
It seems like you love it, so
absolutely.
I would,
the only reason it doesn't give it 10 out of 10 is I don't think it's long enough to get a 10 out of 10.
Oh no, definitely.
I mean, you could beat the game in like an hour and a half. In fact, there's a speedrun trophy. I beat the game in an hour and a half yesterday to get it. So
was it hard? No, you just kind of speed through it.
Once you beat the game once, you kind of remember where everything is, and hardest trophy in the game is in chapter 2, so have fun with that.
Okay.
Jerry watched me attempt it maybe 25 to 30 times in a row.
Oh, damn.
To the point where I got it and he popped off. He was like, let's go!
Yeah. I know that feeling for sure.
It was cool to share that feeling with somebody.
I'm never satisfied by that feeling, though, by the way, to be completely honest. Because that's how I know I'm not like a true trophy hunter or an achievement hunter.
Yeah.
I know I'm not because I don't get satisfaction out of that. Like, I finish it and I'm just kind of like, thank fucking God. Okay. And I go on to the next game.
For me, it's the same thing. It's like a relief.
Yeah,
but I mean, once
like,
you get started, it's about working towards
But I want the pop
Like,
off.
I platinum Gungeon finally and I got it. And it's not like I popped off. It was more so like, yes, I don't have to
Let's
play
go.
this fucking game anymore.
Yeah.
Especially I played it for fun yesterday because I'm still hooked on it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Last thing I want to say before we switch to Haunted Jam in,
yeah.
I did just. It's really not even that big a deal, but I wanted to squeeze it in for 2-3 minutes. I found a YouTube channel recently.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the Arcade King? No, the Arcade Wizard.
No.
Doesn't surprise me. He has like 2,000 subscribers. Each one of his videos pulls like about 300 to 1,000 views. So he's bigger than us, obviously.
Bigger than us, but
not
pretty
a
low.
big name YouTuber. I found his video because of a video that I'm going to talk about in a second, but to give you a gist of what this guy is, he kind of just like goes to arcades all across America with his friends and they're all like really good at arcade games. So they just bust jackpots, they get a shit ton of tickets. And
that's really cool.
They just rack up prizes. Like he has a bunch of videos where he's like, we got 700,000 tickets and we came out with 5 Oculus Primes.
Oh my God.
Shit like that.
That's crazy.
So just like, I think the whole niche of that channel is pretty cool. And him as a person, like he's like, I wouldn't say he's necessarily personable. That doesn't mean he's a bad person. I just think he doesn't have like that on-camera personality. Yeah. But you could tell he's like a really like good guy, like a genuine. Nice guy.
I'm going home and watching this.
Yeah. Like he's just like what I'm trying to say is like he doesn't put the videos out to say like yo we're the best. He really just puts it out. He's like, hey, me and my friends are here and we're gonna try to get this. Like that's really it. And I like that. Yeah. I'm not trying to. I wasn't insulting that. I like that vibe a lot because it just feels like what we used to do, like a group of friends just hanging out kind of vibe.
Just friends hanging out.
But I found out the channel on the one, or rather the 2 videos that have like over 1,000 views. They have like 5,000 views. And it was him at a Bolero. You ever heard of Bolero?
Yeah.
Like a chain bowling alley / arcade combo.
Yes.
I don't know where it was, but he went, and the idea was they had gone there a couple times and they had saved tickets up. That's what they do a lot, with the intentions of going to bust more jackpots and then like walk out with those big name prizes.
Yeah.
So like their intention was they wanted to buy, I think they went to the location like a month ago and they had like iPads. So they were saving up tickets to go win a bunch of iPads. But then when they went the previous time to go get them, they found out that the iPads were gone. So they were like, okay, no problem. We'll still stick around. We'll play some jackpots. And then when they were done, they went, and I think he said like he got like 5 skateboards.
Oh,
like,
shit.
all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
And his intention is he like donates most of this stuff to charity.
Yeah,
which is mad cool too. Like
because it's like you don't need all that shit.
So it's super sick.
You keep one and then all the rest go over
so
there.
Like it literally ends with him and his friends like walking out. Apparently how it works, I never knew like the actual ins and outs of like these arcade places, but like whenever you win those big prizes, they have to get a manager who comes out and signs off on it.
Yeah, because it's huge and you got to make sure they're not scamming. You got to make sure everything's
So apparently
correct.
what happened was they went, they signed off, they got their prizes. They were walking out with 2 trash bags literally filled with the skateboards and all the prizes. And when they got to the door, security stopped them, and the assistant manager tried to tell them that like the credits they didn't go through or whatever. And it eventually resulted with them getting kicked out and having all of their prizes taken away.
Wow.
So they were like, what the fuck? So he made a video on it. And obviously he's the arcade wizard, right? And even then, like he was just more so like confused about it. He was upset, but he wasn't like bashing them. And then apparently what happened is just that video went viral. People caught onto it. People were obviously upset for him. Yelp reviewed 1 star, 0 star the shit out of this Bolero. And all of a sudden they got back in contact and he got his tickets back and shit like that. And then he made a follow-up video, which is the second video that got a lot of views, where he was talking. And even then he was saying like, I appreciate what everybody did, but please don't spam hate. Like that's not the whole vibe. But again, he was like, it is appreciative. And apparently he even had a talk with the manager who even then still tried to make it feel like it was his fault.
Wow.
But it was just like, damn, like even to a guy who's just trying to fucking be mad personable, just like super chill with this shit. But regardless, I like the content that
I feel bad for him.
And I wanted to tell you about it because it low-key feels like something you could get behind watching. It's low-key sick to watch. Like,
I mean, it's cool for them to do that concept because it's like you never get the big prize.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see someone get it and then see the whole process.
Yeah, for sure. It's super dope. They even have like super showy videos where they're like, we got the jackpot using my foot, or like behind the back. Like they're that good. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's a cool channel. So check out the Arcade Wizard. But it's jam and yam time.
Skills, bro.
It's time to jump right into the jam and the yam. You got one?
I'll dive right in. I got one.
Go ahead if you want.
Yeah, my yam of the week is Turnpike by Wilmette.
Okay.
I should have picked this right after the one I picked, the Belmont song, because it's a very similar song. Guitarists always shred, like pop punky emo vibes. Yeah. I spent a lot of time. My commute to school on that Thursday was an hour and 40 minutes. Because the train was being mad slow, so I got a lot of listening in, and I listened to their whole discography. This is their best song, so definitely check it out.
Yeah, before I jump into my jam, I literally just pulled up the script for the project we're working on the computer by accident.
No, I didn't,
so it'll just be your angle for that.
I didn't see that. That didn't happen.
I really should just make Jam of the Week your yam last week because it's at the top of my playlist. Yeah. No, Jam of the Week is gonna go to. Here's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. I heard a song recently that really gives me Rave on You vibes, and I've been jamming to it. So very close. But it's actually going to go to a Rex Orange County song.
Okay.
It's going to go to Amazing. It's just a really good, fun, hit. Everything that guy makes is just
Rex is very
solid.
good.
Yeah. So Amazing by Rex Orange County.
Catchy as fuck.
It's going to be my jam of the week. That's for sure. I just realized there was something I wanted to rant about earlier, but I'll save that for next week. Can I just say this was a really fun podcast?
Yeah, this was fine. This was really nice.
Like I said earlier, we got to really talk about some shit we genuinely care about.
It flowed really well.
Definitely.
You had the set topics, but I didn't even know about your topic. You didn't even show me the topics.
Oh, no, I don't do that.
We just went for it.
Exactly. I prepare for this shit, if you don't know. I'm a bit of a professional, Bobby Big Bucks.
Setting up the whole podcast, no big deal, easy stuff.
Before we wrap this motherfucker up, it'd be really cool if you guys could subscribe to Team Joystick. Helps us a lot. I think we're at 251 now. We're trying to bring that number up higher. And like this episode. I think it was pretty likable. I think it's pretty good. And to ask you a question to get you guys involved, why don't you leave a comment with a game that you're pretty excited for coming up?
And also part 2 of that question: would you want to see us play it?
Right, for sure. I know we're all really excited to see Overwatch 2 come out. I know we're probably we're saying we got big work for Joystick in the plans, and then Overwatch 2 is going to drop, and it's like, oh, what happened to those Joystick guys? They were doing really good on that YouTube stuff.
I can't go back to that life. I'm going to play, but I can't go back.
6 more inches of beard. It's just horrible, bro. But regardless, thanks for watching the Joystick Show. Thanks for hanging out with me and Dill for a bit. And now we're going to go to Joey's house and swim in his pool.
Yeah.
So,
eat.
What the fuck was that?